In this video, we're going to talk more about Edge, specifically trade tagging. I'm going to explain to you how trade tagging can help you get better faster and give you a sense of clarity on exactly where your edge is. Now, before I get into this video, depending on when you are watching it, this trade tagging software is currently free. The link is in the description below. It is available for Jigsaw traders, Sierra Chart traders, NinjaTrader platforms, and TopStep X. My name is Fat Cat. I have 8 years trading experience in the ES E-mini futures. And some of you may remember this video over here off to the right. It's called Edge Explained. In this video, I lay out the iceberg of where Edge is. And as we go deeper on the iceberg, you'll notice there is a section called stat tracking right here, which leads to clarity. I also show off a trade tagging software in that, which you can now use. Again, link in the description, and depending on when you're watching this, it may not be free anymore. I had to put a little catnip on the old cat tree there to get Tarukin on set. Some of you may have been sad he wasn't there. Well, he is high now. So this is a long overdue video on trade tagging. I've preached trade tagging for years and years. I've never had an exclusive video actually done on it. And you know what? Now is the time. I'm going to go over all of my tags, which these are the current tags that I'm using now, and I will be able to show you actual statistics as of now with these actual tags. Now, I have a video called Fastest Way to Consistency. In this video, I talk about how I'm building out a prop firm. Well, I needed infrastructure. That was a huge problem, is not having the appropriate infrastructure. So I wanted to use some sort of tagging software or some sort of trading journal. And I approached Peter from Jigsaw Trading because I really like journal ticks. And I asked him, you know, could I have some sort of master dashboard to use in order to stat track a bunch of my traders? Well, the issue is a lot of my traders are not trading on Jigsaw. They might be using Sierra Charts, which he's not allowing to go on to that platform. So that's a shame. So we started developing sort of our own thing. We needed our own trade tagging software, and it was being done through spreadsheets. But it was really, while I appreciate the shit out of the efforts, it was janky. I ended up hiring a coder to actually build out what I consider the ultimate tagging platform. So this video is not just, you know, going over my tags, but it is also this platform and why it's so good. The thing is, it does have journal capabilities like all the other ones out there. The thing is, this is primarily focused on tagging. Now, I'm going to explain to you why this thing is so fucking awesome. The problem with most trade tagging softwares out there is you have to hashtag manually all your trades, especially with journal ticks. So what I needed was like a macro pad, like something this big, to save all my tags on, because I didn't want to manually write every fucking tag. I need them to be remembered. So with this platform, all of these tags are remembered. All you do is quickly come in here and pick the tags you need in specific categories. If I don't misclick. And if I maybe need to retag something, I just do this, or when I review, I can click that. You have the ability to color code stuff. Typically, you know, something like clarity on price action. Green is good, red is bad. Or you can color code things that aren't necessarily bad or good, different things, like these open close windows. And you also have the ability to come in here and rename trades like this clear. I can name it crystal clear, for instance. And what's awesome about this versus other platforms out there is when I do that, when I change the name of the tag, the trades I attach that tag to still exist. The problem with most softwares out there is you can't change the name of the tag. Whatever name you choose, you better commit for life. And the thing is, all the trades you're taking are valuable data points. Now I'm going to explain why you should be trade tagging and why it's so fucking important. The thing is, when you are evolving through your trading career, these tags will change. And sometimes you're gonna want to change the name of a tag. And the problem is you don't have that ability on a lot of platforms. In fact, trade tagging isn't the primary focus. You can see that I can build out all sorts of shit on this platform with these trade tags. This is a daily equity curve. I've built complex filters where I can figure out exactly where my A+ trades are, insane charts, and then what I can do is I can filter out shit. For instance, maybe I want to look at like high time frame breakout trades. How are those performing? So as you can see, I'll filter that out. This will all change. You can customize this shit however the fuck you want. I can look at micro ranges, for example, and then I can get like cleaner bar charts like this. I can build volume bars. Here's my main dashboard right here. It's showing the filters. I can filter this shit in so many ways. Here's my overall equity curve. Currently, I can toggle it to white mode. This is my current equity curve in black. This is where I would be if I was taking only clear trades over confused trades. And by the way, this tag right here, there's quite a few sample sizes in here. You watch me rename it right here. And again, this tag is still attached to those trades. So you can actually edit the name of the tag on a bunch of trades and shit. Imagine your trading is like this engine right here. Okay, this is an old engine from back in the fucking day. Not many electronics are on it. So since it's not a modern day engine, it's not going to perform at the highest level. It's not going to get the best gas mileage. If there's an issue with it, you may not know there's a problem until it explodes. By today's standards, this is just not the most efficient engine there is. Now, if you look at this, modern engines have sensors on them. These are all data points. They have the engine knock sensor at the top right. What this is telling you is there's pre-detonation happening in the engine, which can be really bad and eventually cause catastrophic failure. This sensor can remedy the issue before it gets out of hand and prevent the engine from melting down. The oxygen sensor on the bottom left, it smells how much fuel is going through the exhaust pipe. So that way you get better gas mileage. It can smell if there's too much gas coming out the back end, and then it can adjust the way the engine is running by talking to a central computer and making those adjustments. So that way the engine will burn more of the fuel. You have a temperature sensor, so that way you know if the engine is starting to overheat. Again, to prevent catastrophic failure. Without any of that, you won't know if your engine may be on the brink of catastrophic failure. You won't know how efficient the engine can run. You will just have no data. These sensors are points that collect data on the engine. All of them are feeding into a central computer, and that central computer is getting an idea of what's going on in the engine. It's gaining a narrative. After all, an engine is just a block of metal. And there's no true way of really understanding 100% of what's going on in there. However, the more data points you have, the sensors, the more data you're collecting as a whole, the more you can actually formulate a story of what's going on inside that piece of metal that we call an engine. Therefore, we're able to get them to run more efficient and get more power out of them. In my edge video, I talk about maximizing edge. I compared having no trade tags to squeezing a lemon by hand. Maybe you do have edge without trade tags. So therefore, it's like you have that old engine that actually runs and works. Congratulations, there's your edge. Or you can actually have some data points, such as these sensors right here. And if you have a bunch of data points, you're able to squeeze more juice out of the lemon, therefore getting more performance. See, it is my belief that traders have a high failure rate because they have no fucking clue what's actually working, what doesn't working, and they're not collecting good statistics. The problem with a lot of modern trading journals is, yes, they give you statistics, but the problem is they're so vague and general. Let's do this. Let's click this button right here. Build out this volume bar. We can drag it and make it bigger. I can then go down here and I can go to day of the week. I can put add filter. Let's do Monday. I'll click up here, add a plus for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because those are the trading days in the year. Come here, hit day of the week, add filter. We'll do Tuesday here, and then I'll finish them all up. So here is every day of the week right here. We can rename them. So let me actually do that. Monday. Then I'm going to go up here to where you see widget filters. Go to P&L, add that filter, bigger than $1. Come up here, split this, copy it, paste it. Go to widget filters, delete that, press smaller than -$1. Then I'm going to go up to here and click on cumulative P&L, color all these red. Also need to go here and click cumulative P&L. Notice how it flips this upside down. And then hide settings. Now we can see that Thursday is typically my biggest losing day. It's also one of my biggest winning days, whereas Tuesdays would also be one of my biggest losing days, while it's also one of my biggest winning days. Oh, and by the way, what's cool about what I just did is I just built this filter. And if this is data that's not important to you, you don't have to have it on this platform. Because in my opinion, knowing how I'm performing that day of the week don't mean shit. See, the problem is a lot of traders are going to go, man, I'm not doing so good on Thursdays, so I should just not trade Thursdays. Well, that's not good enough. Knowing that something is working or not working is not good enough. You need to know specifically what is going on. So one thing I can potentially do is this, hit this plus button, make this a little bigger, go ahead and put in an equity chart. I'm going to click markers, unhide the setting, click edit. Go here. I'm going to go to day of the week. Add filter. What the fuck is going on Thursdays? Oh, here's Thursday. So these are only trades from Thursday. So I remember Thursday, I actually took a $10,000 loss. And if you would like to see that $10,000 loss, you can always join my coffee. I share all my trades. I show all my trade tags. I show how I use this software. I gave it out to all the traders on this platform before I'm releasing it to you. So if there's anything cool going on that I don't talk about here, or maybe I'm doing something, finding some sweet piece of edge over there, it's being done there first. Every damn trading day, for the most part, I am uploading a video or multiple videos. Now, why would you want to see a $10,000 loss? Because, well, that's good education. But the losers are there. So now we know we took a big hit. If we were to really just kind of get rid of that trade, which at some point we're going to be able to get rid of outlier trades, we would actually see the performance on this. So what I want to actually do is kind of just filter this further, and I'm going to go to tags. Now, these are my custom tags. Let's see how I was. Was I clear on most of these trades, or was I confused on most of the trades? Well, we can see that we were pretty clear on a lot of the trades. Let me make this bigger. I'm going to take the markers off. This is the raw equity curve. Problem is I did not filter this to Thursday. Go here. Go to day of the week. Add filter. Thursday. Now we're starting to get a better picture. Edit right here. And what's cool is whatever color your tag is, it'll automatically color the equity line that color, or the pie chart. There are pie charts as well. Now you can always like change the color if you wanted by just clicking there. So white is my raw equity curve. So what I know is that I'm mostly clear on Thursday trades. The reason I just happened the performance suck was really one fucking trade. Problem is most platforms, you're not going to fucking figure that out. All you're going to do is you're going to see this and go, oh, I shouldn't trade Thursdays. Now, what I can do is get to the bottom of this. I can figure out, like, specifically what the fuck is going on. We can see that the price action does have some pretty big pullbacks. So let's actually look at what happens when I'm being conservative versus aggressive, which are two other tags that I use. So aggressive means I'm trying to really push the trade for a big hold. Conservative means I'm just scalping it for a little bit. We can see most of my equity curve right here. There's not many conservative trades, and they're not performing all that well. Now, if we go to the main dash and just look at all my trade totals, that is the conservative line for every fucking trade versus aggression. So being aggressive, you can see the curve is not as smooth. It is very much janky versus the blue curve right here. But the blue curve is getting relatively flat. So had we not took a big hit right here, we would be performing a lot better. One thing I could potentially do is look at my emotions because there's a tag for that. What I'll do is we'll look at emotions for Thursday. Let's see how that's affecting us. Click on this pie chart. Now we're going to add 9 filters, which is a lot. Tag. And then I'm going to add all my emotional tags. Okay, so I have emotional tags. Like I have tags where I check in with my emotions via loop timer. So I'm tagging all my trades according to how I'm feeling. Now this is what's interesting. I've yet to do this. I made a pie chart for every day of the week. We got Monday through Friday, much like what we saw up here. We see that, you know, the performance isn't good on Thursday and the second worst day is Tuesday. Well, this is fucking interesting because green are good ideal emotions, and the best way to filter my emotions, by the way, was through the pie charts. Yellow and red are not ideal emotions. Where do you see a lot of yellow and red? Oh, Tuesday and Thursday? Yeah, me too. Interestingly enough, Tuesday has a substantially higher amount of emotions, yet it doesn't lose as big, but we know there was one trade that contributed to a big loss on Thursday. If we subtracted that, this red square would not be nearly as big. However, there's still a lot of emotions involved on Thursday. So now we know that the reason I don't perform well on Tuesdays and Thursdays might have to do with some emotions flaring up. See, general journal softwares aren't gonna fucking tell you that. And just going, oh, I don't perform good on Thursdays, I'm not going to trade them, ain't good enough. Knowing that you perform better on the open versus the afternoon is not good enough. You need more data points. More data points is having more sensors in the engine. The reason I could come to the conclusion I did here is because I have a lot of sensors on the engine. And these are all the sensors. And you may be thinking, wow, that's a lot. It's actually not that hard to collect this data. It's as simple as having a trade. How am I feeling? Are you getting upset? No. Are you okay with your P&L? Yes. Do you want to trade right now? Slight urge. What's my read on the price action? I'm a little confused. It really is that quick. So let's play make-believe here. Let's pretend that this chart, this is your trading screens, this is the engine, okay? And this is you. We know if you're not operating the engine, nothing fucking happens. You're going to be part of the equation. After all, I do have a video called Ideal Trading Emotions, link in the description if you'd like to check it out. If you remember in this video, I made this chart. It's called focus. If your patience wanes or your contentment or calmness goes away, one of these 3 legs will kick out on the table and then your focus collapses. The turkey on the table will fall off. Well, guess what? That's been recreated. You can go to this charts, and here's that fucking table. And the cool thing is you can program this to whatever emotion you want. But I decided to take that concept from that video and put it in here. Notice this. If we go like this and our emotions are getting worse, notice how the triangle is going inward. Now, the cool thing is you don't have to have just 3 data points. You can make it as big as you want. You can program anything to that triangle you'd like to track. So the reason I say you're part of the equation is we can see my emotions are what's causing poor performance on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But again, without any fucking data points, you won't know. And the normal statistics you're getting from your trading platforms or your journals, that ain't good enough. It's general. See, the thing is, your trading identity, it's very unique. And since you have a unique trading identity and you do unique things in your trading, the software's never going to fucking know. So it's your job to manually input that data with your trades. Now you can do it during a live session. So again, I can just collect tags. Are we in a high time frame range? Is it fractal? Do I have a medium time frame range right here? Are we at the top of the hour or are we at the bottom of the hour? So I can click that. So I can start to preload my tags before I take a trade. And what's going to be cool, which is not here right now, is your win percentage when you're preloading tags will be displayed up here. So you know how when it comes to A+ trades, you need to study charts and you need to internalize that. Well, the thing is, you can tag data to those A+ trades, essentially creating sensors that are attached to your A+ trades. And when you select that specific combination here, it's going to tell you if that's a high win rate trade. Also, keep in mind, this is a work in progress. This will be a full-blown product, free to fucking use for now. This is my brainchild. This is what my ideal stat tracking software should look like. And we needed to build it out for the prop desk. And since it's so fucking awesome, I figured you guys might want it. Again, a little buggy in specific areas. There is a Discord as well below. There's a bug reporter, so you can report to us what's going on. We are still in the phase of polishing and cleaning it up. We have a lot of big plans for this thing in the future. So it is not done and then we release it. We're getting it in a phase where it works. You can do what you want, but there's going to be all sorts of other little features and shit that we'll be adding. Again, what's awesome is if there's certain stats you don't want to see, you don't have to see them. You build out your dashboard and filter shit out the way you want to filter it out. Like, these are the stats I'd like to see from a day-to-day basis. So I haven't tagged today, but let's go to Wednesday and see how the performance was on Wednesday. There you go. A little bit of emotions were involved right here. Pretty clear on everything. I don't know how to spell confuse. And then taking not too many bad trades. There was one bad trade involved. And these yellow trades are not ideal. I'll explain the rating system a little bit later. But that's the thing. I can build out the platform. And these are my tags, which general journals aren't going to spit this out. So as I'm reviewing and tagging quickly, I'm collecting this data to where I have very specific data points on me and my trading. So going back to this is you're basically the engine with no sensors when you're not doing this. You don't really know if there's any sort of issue. So what you do is you have tags, and I'm going to be going over all my tags to give you ideas. Going to be making more content on this in the future. However, as we start to create tags, we start to put sensors or data into all of this shit. So let's go over my tags. So for instance, maybe we are measuring wedge pattern. So we put a data point on there. So we're collecting data on wedge patterns. We can figure out if we're better on them long, shorts, what the win-loss ratio is. But what I can also do is put a data point on myself. How are my emotions? How are the emotions affecting the wedge pattern data point? How are they affecting each other? I can put another data point here. What is this data point right here? Well, I call this a tether tag. So you obviously going to have a tag that's attached to you. Has everything to do with your confusion, your clarity on the price action, your emotions. You're going to have a tag on the actual technicals that have nothing to do with you. Then you have the tether point, which connects you to the trade. So maybe you're not holding the trade long enough. Maybe you're cutting it too soon. Maybe you're holding too long. Maybe you're getting in too early. Those 4 scenarios are 4 different data points. Hopefully you can see where this is going. Now I can see how my emotions are affecting that wedge pattern, and I can see that when I'm executing it, maybe I'm holding it too long, maybe I'm not holding it long enough, maybe I'm getting in too early. Now when you look at my tags, there are a lot of data points. There are about 39 data points. My trading can look like this because I have so many data points. And the crazy part is all of this shit affects other shit in interesting combinations. The combinations are pretty fucking fierce. There are a lot of combinations of how all these tags intermingle and connect with each other. Now, I'll tell you this. When it comes to reviewing this stuff and filtering it, it takes time. As nice as it would be to have AI just tell you what's good, which we're going to implement at some point down the line, that's no substitute for actually combing through your shit and building out complex filters to figure out exactly what the fuck is going on in your trading. Because I have so many data points, I have more sensors on the engine. I get better gas mileage, more performance, less likely to detonate and explode. Whereas most of you have no fucking idea what is going on because you have 0 data points on your trading. Sure, general statistics are data points, but like we saw, emotions were why I didn't perform good on Thursday. I know exactly that. We didn't guess. You can guess. You can guess what your edge is. You can guess that emotions are a problem, but knowing specifically what the deal is imperative. Otherwise, you can waste years of your life doing this job and never making real progress versus spending several hours combing through your statistics. Now, the beautiful thing is, after you do it and you get familiar with how your tags are performing, the process does go a little bit quicker, knowing how to build your dashboards, what statistics you want to see, what tag combinations you want to see, all that shit. Once you spend time with it, and you guys spend enough time doing a bunch of shit you shouldn't be doing, you spend enough time looking at charts, spend some time with your statistics, because that's what makes the difference. Once you get that all set up, you'll have a better idea of what direction you need to go. I spent 2.5 hours building this out, which are all these tag combinations that have to do with technicals. And I found my B trades, my F trade, my A- setups, as well as some A+ trades. Now, this is why I said I think it'll be cool that once you have your tags, it'll tell you the win rate on some of these trades. So instead of me remembering what the A+ setups are, I'm going to be able to see the win rate on these fucking things the moment I tag them and hit a button. That is being built out this weekend. So let's talk about tags. Now we understand the importance of it. We can understand and figure out how to get clarity with it. What are my tags? Why do they exist? What tags should I use? Because a lot of you guys don't know what to tag. Well, since there's no tutorial on this, let me just show you how to make some tags first. You can either do a new tag up here, and I could put in something like scalp. You can make it whatever color you want. Let's just make it that color. You notice there's some default shit. Don't touch that. Just let me Maybe I should name the fucking thing. Or put it in the description. Scalp. You don't have to do it up there. The problem is if you do it up there and you actually go to look at your trades, notice there's no scalp trade. What you want to do is new tag group, trade type. This might be a good tag for you guys. It says exclusive. I'm not going to put a description. You can drag this and move it wherever you would like, and then I can drag it in here. Now it says scalp. We go up here. Now we see scalp. Look at that. And every time I take a scalp trade and I review, I can just click that. All right? It's that easy. I can move this all the way down here if I'd like. And then when I look at my trades, it'll be all the way back here, which is great. So you can order them how you would like. But for the sake of tutorials, let's do this. Go to add one. Let's change the description. Get rid of it. We'll do point to point. Actually, we'll do hold. Make that like, I don't fucking know, orange or some shit. Create, and then let's do point to point. What is that? That's in between a hold and a scalp. Point to point. We can put it like this. Scalp, point to point, hold. Now when we start to take our trades, the first one was a hold. The second trade was a scalp. The third trade was also a scalp. The fourth trade was another hold. The fifth trade was a point to point. Wow, reviewing is so easy now. Or it's got a lot easier. The thing is, when you guys do reviews or do your journals, you typically write up a bunch of shit and you never read it again. You have that ability. You will be able to screenshot chart patterns, and it will be attached to tags. That is not available right now because there is a million little things we need to fucking do. So what you may notice is I can only select one of these at a time. Well, typically you only want to, you're not doing a hold and a scalp at the same time. And that's what these settings are. If you click this pencil and you uncheck exclusive and you go here, now you can select more than one. Why the fuck would you want to do that? Well, for example, this is called Yellow Star. So I rate my trades. You have this available to everybody. You can red star, yellow star, or green star your trade. Now, in my opinion, a green star trade means it's really good. I don't need to manage that any different. A red star means that was bad. I should have never even fucking took that. A yellow star means it's not bad, but it's not good. So hypothetically, I should have done something different on management. And hence the yellow star tag group I've made. Did I need to get a better entry? Maybe I'm getting in too early. And did I need to hold it more? Oh, look, I can put both of those tags on at the same time. Maybe I needed to get a fucking better entry, but I accidentally held too long and it came back. Maybe the entry was fine, and I just happened to hold it too long. So there are certain circumstances where you're going to maybe want to check all of those. So when we go to my dashboard right here, you can see this. This is the rating for this day. 3 trades were green stars, 1 was red, 4 were yellow. Here's the deal. Most of my trades are yellow star trades. Most of the time I could be doing something a little bit better on trade management. So let's create a new group here. We'll create this pie chart. Unhide the settings, but it is buggy, so sometimes you gotta just fucking expand shit. There you go. You can expand it and build it in. So I can come in here, and then we can see the rating. This should add a rating for, and see it already auto. You can change the color of that, by the way, but it's nice that it just does the color for you. And then this should be all of my fucking trades. Account. I'm not going to do that. It's not. So let's actually get rid of the date. Now it's actually showing all the fucking trades. I didn't even have to build this. We'll just garbage can it. So now these are like all my trades, my entire equity curve. So we can see that there's been 78 green stars, 83 yellow stars, 29 red stars. This tag is a little bit newer for me. The hold more, held too long, better entry tag. These are yellow star tags. So like Obviously, green, I don't need to do anything different. Red just was bad. And yellow is, I should have managed it better. So that's why I have the yellow star tag group. So now I'm figuring out, like, what am I fucking doing wrong here in these yellow stars? What can I do to make it better? I can go back up to page filters, which does the entire page. So this does filter down more if you got to unhide filters. And then it's a buggy, so I got to expand it, contract it. But this widget filter does the widget, and then there's a sub filter down here. So there's 3 layers of fucking filtering here. So that's how, like, kooky it can get. So let's go time of day, or I'm sorry, day of the week. No, I don't want that. Garbage can it. Date. That's the one I want. And then we'll go to, you know, here. And then there you go. That's yesterday. I still got a tag today, and there's a bug. There's a bug that should be fixed. For some reason, the Jigsaw trades are now being imported like shit because now you're able to import. So you go here to these other platforms. They were added NinjaTrader and TopStep X. For the longest time, it was Sierra and JournalTix. Something broke. It'll be fixed. And then there's custom. That is not for you guys. That is for my developer because he has his own custom platform he built. So that ain't going to work if you don't have any of that shit. If you're exporting from Jigsaw, you need to go to your JournalTix account and go to My Trades and export it as a spreadsheet. How you do it on these other ones, I'm not sure. So now what you may notice is there's also this daily report card. Did I do a hypnosis session or did I not? Did I do my nightly hypnosis session? Let's say I did not. It is a bit buggy where it shows both right now. But what it does is it auto tags every fucking trade. So for example, I could create a new group called sleep quality. And I associate bad sleep with red. Now take it off trade and click day. Okay-ish, maybe? Maybe I'm going to want to rename that. So that's why it's okay-ish. Take off trade, put day. We'll add a new one called great. And then good sleep means green. Day, boom. Now we can see that those are there. Now the thing is, we can put bad sleep. Typically, if you add bad sleep, all your trades are going to have that tag. So it saves you the motions of tagging every trade bad. So every trade now gets that bad tag, and for some reason it's only showing the bad tag, which is good. Again, it's a bit buggy. So now we can, yeah, there you go. So if you, I think if you cycle through that, the hypnosis one's all fucked up. It's going to get fixed, guys. This is why it's free for now, okay? It's definitely usable. But the day tags are a little wonky. So we can see that every trade as I go down the list has these tags. So if it's a fucking trend day or a range day, instead of tagging everyone, you can just make it on a day tag. Now you may be wondering, why the fuck are those flashing? That great fucking question. Let's create a new fucking group. Remember, exclusive means you can only select one of those deals. Drag it up here. I want to put tilted. Tilt is usually bad. Agitated. Can't spell. Don't fucking judge me for it. Fanfic. Fan-fucking-tastic. I feel great. Let's reorder this. I want to put green at the top, you know, because when I'm selecting this, I want to green down, right? Oh, and by the way, you can't name the same tags the same thing. Like if I go here where it says great and I put tilted, you'll get an error message. There's a reason for that. If I'm naming 2 fucking things the same shit, then when I'm filtering those statistics, I'm not going to fucking know which one's which. So if I wanted to name something tilted, you could go tilted and then put like a fucking character or some shit, right? But this one's great. So all I need to do is go to one of these trades and use with stopwatch timer. You can do all of them if you would like. It's not totally necessary. But now it's flashing and I did not name that fucking group. So go to this pencil icon, emotion. So I have a loop timer up here. I can run it for a minute and then I can just kind of keep track of how I'm fucking feeling. And when you do that, they go away. So a thing about a loop timer, and you guys can't fucking see it. Let me fix that. So there is a loop timer up here, and it only goes as low as a minute. So one thing you can do to help with emotions is run a loop timer. So every time this goes off, what I want to do is check in with myself. And if I'm tilted, I want to click that. So this is how I'm like getting the data for my emotions. I'm running a loop timer. Personally, for me, I run it every 3 minutes. And then I'm checking in every 3 minutes. And if like something's happening in the price action and the timer doesn't go off, I'll just come in and click this. So it's good to have this up on another monitor when you're trading, and you can check in. It does make a beeping sound. Some traders say that it does scare them when it goes off. It's not like horribly loud or some shit. It goes beep, 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 beep. And then you can re-check in with yourself. It's a good way to pattern interrupt to see what's going on with your emotions, because as I said before, you are part of the equation. And if you're not accounting for you emotionally, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're not going to know how bad our emotions affecting certain trades. As we can see, Thursday and Tuesday, again, are emotional days. I've expanded the screen up so you can see the dashboard better. But again, if we go here, we can see how, again, Thursday, Tuesdays are emotional days. If I didn't put that in, then we would just see bad performance, and then I'd probably be like, maybe it is technicals. But now I know it's not. Now, it could be partially. We got to go through that information. And I built this insane fucking filter, by the way, which this is what it looks like raw. So let me expand it. Massive filter. I know it's really hard to see, and I will explain this at some point, but this shit gets pretty deep. This is how I found my A+ setups. And in order to get this specific deal, let me hide the settings on it. You just click this 1, 2, 3 right here, and it just shows you all your trades, the trade number, biggest loss, whatever, and you can filter that out. There will be a master check box to uncheck it all, but you can sort of just get rid of shit you don't want to see. So if you're looking for just general statistics, they're here, and this will be able to be bigger at some point. It is a little small. But again, there's a lot we got to tie up, a lot of loose ends, all right? So if you don't want to see the flashing, you're not interested in using a loop timer, that's great. You don't have to. So what you can do is you could come in here and uncheck the stopwatch timer, which I'm not going to do on the last one. And if you just have one checked, it will flash. So you don't need to check all of them because it flashes the group. I'll just do that one, and then you can see it's no longer flashing. So I don't ever recommend you delete your tags. You can't delete the group. You have to actually drag them out. And you can move tags to different groups, by the way, which is pretty cool. And I want to hope to God I don't fucking delete my my tags. So we're going to just get rid of all this shit. I don't need it. Your group isn't going to be actually attached to the trades. The very specific tags are. And I recommend, again, not ever deleting tags you're not using. Just drag them up here. You're not going to see them in this section. Let's get rid of all this shit. So you're not going to see those tags. So if you want to kind of just hide them, you can. But if you do this, they're gone forever, in the hundreds of trades and data points you have attached are going away. And hopefully I didn't double check this and we're not fucking ourselves here. Now, one thing I do recommend you actually do on a daily basis is save this shit. So let's talk about my tags. I've been meaning to do that. Need to give you somewhat of a tutorial, a crash course on what to do with this shit. If you're unfamiliar, Advanced price action, slips and reclaims, link in the description. Slip entries are a entry technique. So hypothetically, this tag is a very small, minute entry technique. Now, typically when I'm looking at my trades, I don't ever really know if I did or didn't do this. And you can see it's only going to be one or the other. So typically I have to review my footage. You want to record and review to YouTube. I have a video called How to Start Reviewing Your Trades. Link in the description. I highly fucking recommend this specific fucking video because it shows you how to use YouTube, like store your trading sessions privately, do it for free. So that way when you are reviewing your trades, you can actually tag them with this sweet software you're able to use for free for now. So oftentimes I review my tags and then I can click this. So this is a very advanced sort of price action technique. I'm not explaining that in this video. You can go watch what I recommended. We obviously have the yellow star trades because when we review our sessions, let's look at like yesterday or some shit. We have a few yellow star sessions. So red star trades, I'm not doing the yellow star tags. Green stars, I'm not doing the yellow star tags. Yellow stars, this one I needed to hold more. This one I held too long. This one I held too long. This one I needed to hold more. Again, all of these sessions are on my coffee. So if you're really curious about how I'm trading, how I'm finding edge, how I'm trying to grow and be better as a trader, feel free to join the coffee. If you think this software is awesome and you want to donate as little as $3, feel free. You can donate as little as $3 and the coffee, especially if this content is just good, because content creation is another job, a very thankless job at that. So we know these are yellow star tags. Let me go to today. So I can put on more than one. Usually this combination of held too long and hold more aren't going to go together. Better entry. For instance, this is a bad tag. Usually it doesn't perform very good. I mean, it does perform, but this tag has a smoother equity curve. Let me show you. So I go to my slips up here. I did filter it, slips against. So it's just showing that yellow tag right there. Let's unfilter it by clicking this pencil. And I just take it off at the page level. Then it shows all of them. Now I have some weird filters on there. So give me just a moment. We're just going to quickly build out how the slip tag just performs overall. So I'm going to do 3 of these. Click this. I'm going to hit tag, add filter. So let's look at just the slip tags. Again, I got some kooky filters. For example, I'll show you. So these are all of the slip entry techniques across the entire board. Let's make this bigger, show each trade. This is all of them. So we can see that I did take the big ass loss on the slip against. If we were to exclude that, it would outperform the slip favor. The slip favor does have statistical edge. And I talked about it years ago in a video it's called My Trade Setups. I posted this in November of 22, so I've been tagging for a long time. Slips had slip favors had a 5-to-1 win to ratio. So basically that green tag, obviously like I had to pull the fucking tags like this. But now we have this sweet software where it's just easier to show you guys. So this tag outperforms all the other ones. No slip is present. Typically this is telling me there's like virtually no volatility and mid slip. And then we got slip against. But slip against is very turbulent. If we were to just sort of look at the slip favor tag and what I can do to filter this out, is go to add tag, and I just want to see slip favors. I don't want to see the other ones. It'll get rid of them really quick for me. And we can just see how relatively smooth that equity curve is. What I can do is if I want to see that one just against the orange one, because those are the two big ones, I want to cross out mid slip against no slip, and we can see just how smooth this equity curve is compared to this. And again, I can do this, and that's raw unfiltered. This is why you're seeing a lot of my charts with a bunch of lines where you're like, what the fuck? It's because it's designed for me to filter at a higher level. Remember, there's 3 levels of filtering. The page level, which is everywhere. There's the widget level, and then the finer level. So I can just go to, you know, do this, and it'll just show those. Now, what's also interesting, so what I did was I ended up building this thing with my slip trades where I could track them according to the ratings that they're getting. Remember that red star, yellow star, green star? So now we can sort of just look at the green slip favor trades, and we can see that most of them are green star trades. There's only a few red star trades when I hover over it. I know you can't see it. There you go. And a couple of yellow star trades. Let's look at the slip against trades. Oh, see, it thinks the trades have these. It's impossible to have these 2 tags on the same trade. So instead, I got to cross out these 2 and say, and then it'll show me those because of the way it filters shit. So if we look over here, the yellow tag, when it's a green star trade, it has an outsized, it doesn't perform super well. It's pretty flat, but there was one big trade that did boost it. It's pretty flat here. I think this is yellow stars, and then there's a lot more red stars. So in my opinion, this tag does not really perform that fucking well in general. So to me, it's not that good of a tag. But you can see how we get really nitty-gritty with this shit. And I'm knowing what I need to get rid of. Now, if you remember, I have an F trade. Do not trade. It will be roughly this combination. It's definitely that tag. And it's against the micro mean. I have a pretty high sample rate on it. So it's somewhere in this combination where it does not perform well. It does not perform well against a micro range, which is a range. Now, standalone, it does tend to perform, but with a micro range, it's pretty bad. So what I can do from this perspective is let me actually look at that combination. So let's look at the slip against, and then let's look at against a micro range. Those are all the against a micro range trades. We can see that there are only 5 green star trades, a bunch of reds, and mostly yellows. And it's actually losing money at this point. It's below the 0 line. Now, this is not factoring in commissions right now. It will. But for now, it's still the best shit out there. Our heart and soul went into this thing. And this is a real deal tool to help you guys get better. And it's really for my traders and myself, most importantly. I like using it. This part of trading is fun. And do you want to have fun? If you want to fucking have fun, you need it. So we do plan on launching it officially at the end of January. So you do have some time before it becomes a paid product. So you're able to just give it a long test drive. See what you think of it. Let us know. What features do you want to see? Because I want to listen to the community, because, you know, a lot of these other guys don't listen to you fucking guys. So let's go ahead and look at it standalone without a micro range. So we're going to want, we know this combination is a decent sample size. Are they yellow star trades? Yeah, most of them are. But if there's no micro range involved, it tends to work. It's a little flat. I don't like it. The green star, I think this is green star, works. Again, I could change this if I wanted to show green, red, yellow, but due to the nature of the filtering, that's not how it's done. So I have a bunch of shit like aggression versus conservative trading, top of the hour versus bottom of the hour, confusion versus clarity. Obviously, confusion just doesn't work well on them. I'll show that to you. So this is, I believe, let's make sure that we are raw unfiltered across the board. We are. Let's hide our settings. So we can see confusion isn't working. It will work on slip favor green star trades, which is interesting. These are, again, this is really filtered from, these are red green stars. Here's clarity. Red star, green star, clarity obviously still performs well. Clarity, being clear on slip favor tags, let's take a look. Actually performs really good whether it's a yellow or green star. It performs really good. Now the slip against tag, which I think is a bad tag, you know, when we're clear, it performs well. I mean, this is clarity across the board versus confusion. Most of the time we're not confused, but again with ratings. So I have this page built out with complex filters, and I'm able to continue to filter at a higher level to really understand like each individual tag. So now you know the yellow star. So we have 3 groups that are all the same: HTF mean, medium mean, micro mean. We got mean favor, that means trading into a range. Mean mid, that means we're on the middle of the range. Mean against, that means we're taking a breakout trade. And mean none. Typically this means we might be in a trend, or it might be in some weird price action that doesn't have a trend or a range. And what we know is price action is fractal. So there's a high time frame range, a medium range, and a micro range, which is actually one of my A+ setups. It would be either a slip favor, a slip against tag, and it's going against a range on the micro and the medium. So really, what would that look like on price action? It would look like something of this nature, and I'm shorting here. So let's actually build that so you guys can see what it looks like. Tag, add filter. So it's going to be, we're going to need to exclude this, and we're going to need to exclude this. We're definitely going to need that. And then we're going to need this one, and then we're going to need to exclude this and this, because it could be one of these 2 tags. It's this tag, it's this tag, and it could be one of these 2 tags. And this is why we're going to have a thing where it shows you that A+ trade. When you select the tags, it'll show you that win rate when you're doing it live, which will be cool. So I don't have to go, what did it look like again? Now, obviously, it's not the highest sample rate, but out of all the trades, it seems to be performing really well. The more you start to filter these things, the less of a sample rate you get. This one has relatively decent win, like dollar amount. So I'm not looking at just win-loss ratio or win percentage. I am looking at dollar amount. But so far, it's good. It could change over time. I figured I was becoming a better breakout trader, and this would be an example of that. So it's pretty self-explanatory. There's ranges inside of ranges. And this is why I built out this super complex filtering system right here. Each one of these, this is a high time frame range. Now, I'll kind of just look at it so you can see how it's done. There is currently a filter right now. Let's, oh, there's not. So we can see that, you can see this loses, but when I do a lot of filtering, I know exactly why this loses, and this is not a bad trade. But we can see there's a high sample rate on the mean nuns. All my mean none tags are going to have high sample rates, but this is high time frame with the combination, high time frame favor with the combination of medium favor, mid. This should say mid. It doesn't. I need to edit that. Against and none. So what this looks like is this. It is this tag with the combination of this one, this one, this one, then this one. Again, that one tag with that combination. And as you look at it, this tag will have a combination of this one, this one, this one, this one, right? And then this group will have a combination of this, this, and this, right? And then this one will have a combination of that, 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 that. And then this will have a combination of that, 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 that. And then that. So all these are all technicals. So it's like, whoa, shit. So what I did is I built out a filter where it goes from high time frame to medium, from medium to micro range, and then the slips, which are an entry technique. So for example, we can see that this does not make money. So let's see, why is that? So here's how I would filter that. So we know we need high time frame favor and medium favor. So whatever the trade is, it has that combination. And we know there's 15 of them. Okay, so when I click that, what happens is it filters everything out but these 15. So now we can see that when the micro ranges are involved, there's 5 micro range favor trades, which did 1,800. 4 micro range against, which lost 10,000, and then 6 nuns, which made 2,000. So basically what we know, oh, and I filtered it wrong. It should be like this. So what we know so far, and I'll just check these so they stop, is this combination is good, this is good, this is where we lose money, okay? So typically you would see that setup and you'd be like, oh, that's no good. So what we want to do is just sort of get rid of that. Or maybe we want to see, like, why is that, like, what specifically is going on to make that lose. So let's do this. So we'll isolate it, as you can see here. And then we'll go, and this is micro range against slip. So I'm able to really track down exactly what my tags were. So we can see if there are no slips or slip against, it doesn't work. There is no winning combination at all. Not a high sample rate right now. This is why it's important to continue to do this. And this is why it's so bad to, like, have tags, like, get rid of them or they disappear, or if you want to change the name, you have to start over. You want high sample rate because it clarifies edge. So we know this is no good, and we know that the only 2 options that were traded were these attached to it. So we know this is the tag combination. But what we do know that does work is this. These 2 combinations right here. Let's get rid of this, and then look at it. So now we can look at the slip entries, and they are all making money. Slip favor on the gray right here. This is micro range none. Slip favor works. Mid slip works. Makes sense to me. Mean favor works here. Works on the mid. There are no slip against trades, which I think is a bad tag, and none slip here. So that does make sense to me. In my opinion, this should be a really good setup if it works, hopefully. And so far, a total of 5 of those have been taken. 3 of the entries have been slip favors, mids on 1, and 1 on none. Obviously not a high enough sample rate when you start to filter the fuck out of it, so be careful filtering too much. You can, but I recommend doing pairs of tags to get an idea of where you should go, especially in the beginning. So this is like top of the hour, bottom of the hour. This is the open window is the first and last 10 minutes. In my opinion, range breakouts may or may not work better at the top of the hour than outside of it. So again, open window is first 10 minutes, last 10 minutes of the hour. Closed window is anywhere in between. Then you have open, closed. Obviously, that's I put a trade on during that period, and then it comes out of that period. And what's interesting in my findings is I wanted to know how the open window, closed window performed. I noticed that my trades were performing substantially well across the closed window range, and these were all the trades that had closed window tags that actually made decent money or had decent sample size combination of the 2. So these are all decent trades. The A+ ones are the ones that have the most sample size with the most dollar amount. There was one closed window trade that performed well. So what's interesting is ranges seem to be working better when we're not at the top of the hour. But I don't know if this tag's going to be useful or not. These tag groups are standalone slips and micro ranges. They're in between the open and closed window. So for me, this is sort of just a science experiment to see if this provides any form of edge or not. Then we have conservative versus aggressive. When I get into a trade in my this is a tag you need to do, or at least for me, during the session. So when I'm tagging my trades, right, I know if there's going to be a range and if I'm trading into that favor. I know if there's a medium-sized range, and I know that I might be trading against a micro range. I know if this price action structure is there. It makes sense for me to just tag them now during a session. And again, at some point, it's going to tell you the statistics on that combination, which is going to be really handy. And then I know for at the top of the hour or we're not at the top of the hour. Now, this is, am I being aggressive or am I being conservative? Meaning I'm getting into a trade and I'm trying to push it. Or am I just trying to pick up a few ticks? If I'm picking up a few ticks, it's conservative versus aggressive. And what's interesting is I thought conservative trades, it's really interesting to see how conservative trades, which is blue, are performing against aggressive. It's flatter, but like I'm basically grinding ticks. So the blue line is, I know that I'm basically grinding ticks at that point. That's why there's so many fucking dots in here, because I'm grinding fucking ticks. That's why it looks so fucking flat. And these aggressive ones, obviously it's more whippy. So I can see what tags perform better in aggressive versus conservative. This to me is interesting. I don't know how this is going to unfold. So that's sort of my intentions. So for me, that's like one of these tether trades. Am I being conservative or aggressive? It's kind of in between my emotions and the technicals of it all. So that's what that is. And this yellow star is a tether tag as well. It's in between. The slip entry, the mean tags, and the window tags, those are all going to be over here, technicals. My read on price action, am I clear or confused? I mean, we know that it just does not, I do not perform well when I'm confused. I mean, there's all of the trades. We'll make the dashboard white. But there's all of them. It's just confusion is not doing well. Because sometimes I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And that's a tag you have to take during the moment. So that's going to be our first tag that is a data point up here. I don't fucking know what's going on. And it has to do with this as well. It might be a tether tag. It could be a tether tag. But if you're going to do tags, I think that's a good one. You want to know how well Clarity is performing. And there's definitely, that's one of those things. That's why that tag is red and green. It's like I just shouldn't have that on. Most of the time that is checked when I'm on the loop timer because edge is these brief moments of clarity. Then I have the emotions. This is calmness. This is contentment. And this is patience, like the ideal trading emotion video I showed you earlier with the turkey on the table. And I had to originally name those tags contentment, patient, and all that. It didn't work. So phrasing it as a fucking question works a lot better. So that's why it flashes. Are you getting upset? Slightly. I'm pissed off. Or no. Now I put CM at the end so I know it's a calmness tag and a CT for contentment and a P for patience. But I think these emotions being said in a question phrase definitely helps. And I've renamed these multiple times because at first the traders, my prop guys, didn't like it. And I'm like, you need to rephrase these. We're going to rephrase these, write them like this. Are you okay with the P&L? It's bothering me. I'm not okay with the P&L. Yeah, I'm okay with it. That's good. If I'm starting to see like yellow, like slight urge to the trade, just by me checking it and it's yellow, or I want to trade now, are you wanting to trade now? And I'm seeing it red, at this point, I'm very aware that there are emotional issues. versus me trading and not knowing that. So just seeing that big red thing makes me stop and think, hey, you should probably stop. Your results are getting wacky at this point. So ideally, I want these to be all green all the time. Finally, we do have some random tags over here. Mistake and compression. What is that? Compression is going to be like a wedge pattern or a compression effect where the market starts to tighten against a range. I feel like I've been getting blown out on those lately. I want to see how they're performing because I've been trading them a lot. And that A+ setup you saw, that we saw in those tags, that's hypothetically a compression play. It's kind of this random price action that doesn't fit with any other categories. And then mistake is when Tarukin submits a fucking order, which he has before on that 10K loss day. To add insult to injury after that trade, he submitted a $600 loser. So a mistake is that something happened on the fucking keyboard that wasn't supposed to happen. So I'm not always tagging this group. And then we have day type, which you're not seeing these tags. These tags are just daily report card type tags. Again, you can write here or whatever you want. Save the note. Did I do my nightly hypnosis or not? And then I've not been doing them. I'll show you the actual performance too. So this is hypnosis versus not. I've not been doing a lot of it. We can see that this did jump ahead at some point. This will be interesting because this had started performing better quicker. And you guys probably know I talk a lot about hypnosis. I have a series. It's called Trading Hypnosis. This is part 1. It is a 4-part series. I recommend it. And what's interesting is we're seeing some statistics on it. And this is me listening to my tape at night. But most of the time, I'm not doing it. And then finally, we have day type. We got slip heavy, which is this really weird price action pattern that I'm not going to explain here. We got pure trend up. So a pure uptrending day. I'm going to tag these after the session. We got rug pull, which is a pure downtrend day. I'm going to probably add another tag to it called unknown because I want to start categorizing day types so that way we can sort of figure out how that's affecting it. There will be a point where you're going to be able to see like VIX number next to your trades, but that feature is way down the line. But those are my tags and how I'm crafting edge and getting better at trading. So I'm pulling very interesting statistics. Again, this is me putting sensors on the engine to figure out how efficient is my performance. What should I just not be doing at all? What should I do more of? What may or may just be bullshit. What tag combinations truly are A+ setups. And I've tagged a lot of my trading career. I owe a lot of success to this. And no platform out there was really all that fucking great. And now my brainchild has been built, is being built. And there's some cool shit that we plan on doing in the future, and most platforms are really out there. They're for stock traders. We're futures traders, so it truly is trader built, and it's somebody who uses it relentlessly and rigorously. You saw how much shit I built. I didn't even show you every little chart book. So that's great. The great thing about it is you can create the dashboards and see only the information you want to see and get rid of the shit you don't. And once it's there, and you don't have to keep fucking filtering to get back to these statistics, comparing shit. You need unique data points. You need those unique sensors attached to your trading and yourself to know exactly where the fuck the edge is. And this covers all the bases. And the cool thing about it is it serves like a checklist. You can check these during a session. You can run loop timer for emotions up here, which those sounds you'll be able to mute it and talk. Not right now, you can't. It's going to be customized later down the line. And then you use this in a review process. Like, I don't get all my tags done until the review process because sometimes I'm like, did I take a slip? entry? I don't remember. And then I analyze it to see if I should have managed it a little better. And then, you know, obviously yellow, green star, all that. So you can add the trades here to do them live. Now that trades won't be attached to it live during the session, depending on what platform you're coming from. Once you export it, your trades will be overlaid on top of your tags. So you can come in here and just do it during the session and create tags. You can put a tag in between if you fucked up by hitting this. So put a tag in between if you accidentally messed up. You can rate them. I do this during the review process. If you don't like seeing the rating system, you can change it to P&L, which this will not show. Or you can do, let's go to another day. So that's filtered by P&L, like win-loss. You can filter it long, short. The colors, you can do no color if you don't like that. Or again, you can do rating, which is very useful feature. I recommend doing the yellow star tags. And again, once you export your sheet, because I use Jigsaw, then it will overlay it. But as you can see, I can add another trade, can tag it, and then I can export on top of that. So you can use it like a checklist, as a loop timer, and as a way to review shit. And what's cool is, like, if you guys like to checklist into your trades, not only are you building a checklist here, but you're able to pull statistics on your checklist, which is fucking insane. And then at some point, it's going to show you the statistics on that checklist. So again, link in the description if you would like to use it. It'll say something on the lines of tagging software. If you're watching this many months later and it's going to be a paid product, it is what it is. Still a good software. And if you're watching this years later, we've probably done a lot of stuff to it. I will have another channel that goes with this software at some point. I will be giving you guys tag ideas. I'll be reviewing other traders' tags, how to find more performance, shit like that. So there's going to be tutorials and all that. So this is hypothetically the tutorial for now. If you have questions, you need to join the Discord. That's also in the description. There's 2 Discords down there. It's a different Discord from my personal room, which opens and closes at different times. However, the trading software Discord is permanently open. So if you have bugs or have questions, go in there. That's how you communicate with me and the developer on this. If you're having problems, we're more than happy to tell you what to do to fix it or answer any fucking questions. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one.